Nuclear weapons back in public consciousness. These are the emerging concerns which were brought to the fore at the United Nations Security Council a couple of weeks ago.
Between 1945 and 1996, when the CTBT was opened for signature, over 2,000 nuclear tests were conducted.
But now, the threat is ever increasing, prompted by new wars and conflict. There is, however, hope for experts who believe that the long-standing Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty will de-escalate the tension. Dr. Robert Floyd is Executive Secretary of the CTBTO.
Is where there's threats of use, and we thought that would never happen again. There's also an accumulation of a large amount of highly enriched uranium in another state than the material that could be used to make a nuclear weapon. And there's also the risk that North Korea could test a nuclear weapon again. So three different areas of concern.
Although the treaty has 187 signatories, some specific countries, including China, the United States and Russia, which recently de-ratified, are required to domesticate the law in order to make it enforceable.
Two of the world superpowers, the US and Russia, of course, not going ahead with the ratifications. Russia made a step forward and then made one step back, as you described it, at the United Nations Security Council. Do you feel that these two countries are willing to come on board and to put an end to the use of nuclear weapons?
If we look at the 5 countries that are considered nuclear weapon states, then of those, there are 2 that have signed and ratified the treaty, that is France and the United Kingdom. The other 3, the Russian Federation, China and the United States of America, have all signed but not yet ratified. As you said, the Russian Federation de-ratified last year, which was deeply regrettable. But I do believe that when the United States and China can find a way to move forward, the Russian Federation will move with them. And this is about geostrategic issues, etc. All of those countries are in full support for the object and purpose of this treaty, and because they've signed it.
In the meantime, the top executive of the CTBTO is on an unofficial tour of Africa, seeking to build a coalition of countries across the continent that will give further boost to the international law.
But why should people worry, particularly in Africa? Well, it was in Africa that nuclear weapons were tested on the territory of various states in Africa. And those states still bear the marks of that in their environment and the health of their people. And that is something which I think has affected deep into the heart of Africa, and why Africa stands almost completely united with this treaty to call for a total ban on nuclear weapon testing.